Welcome to the Eli Show. I'm your host, Eli Tanner. And man, have we had a interesting week. From celebrating USA's 250th birthday to America losing in the round of 16 game to Belgium. And many more FIFA games to dive into. And also, the NBA offseason, it's gone crazy. Where's LeBron going to? Well, I have a guess. And Conor McGregor, he's back in the ring. It's been 5 years, but what will he do? All this on the Eli Show. And let's get started. Let's dive straight into, the U.S. men's loss to Belgium 4-1. And, here's the most disappointing part was it doesn't feel like us Americans, not us, I mean the soccer team, was trying their best. What I mean was going all out, giving 110%, 100% of the time. This is just shows you, not all Americans, but there's definitely, I feel like, been a downhill slope for America and American sports that we have not tried our hardest. We haven't dug deep, and we haven't, gone until we really need to give up. And I feel like that first goal Belgium had on us, we gave up. That moment we let that goal up in the 9th minute, I feel like we were down. And I mean, we were down, but I feel like our team spirit was down. No, it wasn't coaching. No, it definitely wasn't, the players exactly. I think it was the heart. We didn't seem like we wanted it. And when you don't want something, you're not going to win a game in the World Cup. And I think there's teams like Cape Verde, they didn't win, but they showed their hardest. Mexico, oof, I'll tell you what, that game was a thriller. And it comes down to, it's in the heart, It's that attitude. Here in America, we celebrated 250. And man, does it feel good that we've made it this long. But we have to look back and say, there's been years that we have to fight in the hardest. 1776, we fought in a good war, right? And then in the past, for slavery being abolished, dude, the Civil War was hard. And then you think about it, even for your rights, it was hard. And yet, nowadays I feel like we have robots and AI doing everything for us. Nah, bro. We have, this is look in a mirror for Americans. And I think the players do too. They need to be accountable and say, we didn't try our hardest. I don't think they did. We can't blame them on an injury because Captain America over here, he didn't do good all tournament. You can't blame it on an injury when, he gets in the game. Oh, it's a difference maker. How many goals did you score? So I'm just saying, we had a good team. Well, we had a good run. Could we have done more? I don't know. Belgium seemed like the better team than us. Should we have lost 4-1? No. That last goal was just lazy, I feel like. That one goal when our goalkeeper, the goalkeeper kicked the ground. How do you kick the ground? It's like that one NFL game, when it was in December when the kicker kicked the ground and just decided to pick it up. That was crazy, but that's what it looked like. We look sloppy. We look like a middle school soccer team going against one of the top European teams. But we weren't a middle school soccer team. So, I think it was just disappointing we lost in that manner. Would it have been a close game? Would it be as disappointing? No. I think part of the reason it's on America ground, just a few days ago, before the game, it was America 250. We just turned 250 years. So that's it's disappointing overall. And I think we got to look back in 2030. I think we need to make it past round of 16. I had high hopes, and, sometimes I'll admit I was wrong. I think, they were a better team than us. Could we have beat them? I don't know. But sometimes we'll never know with when it comes to that. But now let's get to the crazy offseason it's been for the NBA. And where's LeBron James going? I said this before. I said I don't think he's going to Golden State for many reasons. I think it'll be great. I know the Lakers really don't have any control, but if he stays on the coast, it's not far from LA. But I feel like it has a little bit of little bit of bad blood. I think the two front runners, and I was listening to the Herd today with Colin Coward, and the two front runners have to be Philadelphia and the 76ers, and then you get Cleveland, his old team. Who do you think he's going to? I think he's going to Cleveland again, the Cavs, and I think he can make a good run in the playoffs. I think that Lakers team was really good. I think you have Luka healthy, they'll be good. I think if you have the right components and you have a little, not a draw, but play some hard teams. Play what? Played OKC. It's not going to be easy road in the West, but the East is definitely not easier. And the age and staying healthy. The reason the Mavs got off of Luka was because he couldn't stay healthy. So I think, everyone's blaming the Mavs. I don't think it was a bad decision overall. I do think, could have done a better job. Could have gotten a lot more. But, I think make mistakes in the NBA. And speaking of the NBA, the Summer League right now. Sorry for the pause, that there's some technical difficulties with the camera. But speaking of the NBA, like I was saying, the Summer League in Las Vegas, it's gone crazy with the rookies. And I think it shows you the young talent coming into the NBA and the hope for actually trying. And they try in this in Las Vegas the past week or so. You're going to see some a lot more trying in the actual games and the actual what's happening in a regular season NBA, which I think can get a lot better and can, learn from these young guys and give 110%. I think Cooper Flagg, I was listening to a podcast with, he was in, and he said like he was trying in the All-Star game or something, and the coaches and people were saying, why are you trying so hard? And he said, why not try so hard? I think the young guys know how it is to try hard, because every college game you try hard, because every college game, it matters in the end, and it matters definitely in March when it's win or go home. So, talk about the NBA, talk about some FIFA. Now it's time for Conor McGregor, the Irish, fighting superstar. I think one of the best fighters, not great off the ring, but he's had some good times, he's had some bad times, and I think Saturday night it's going to be interesting. I think he's going to win, and I think it's going to come down to he has that spirit that I think Americans should have. He wants it, and when you're going to ring with him, I think you're crazy going to ring with him. I don't care if you're Mike Tyson in your prime, or I don't know, LeBron James right now. I want to get in a ring with him. I think Conor McGregor, you look at it and he's a guy that, can go a little crazy. He doesn't quit. He quits at the very end, and then he's disappointed, and he wants to guard it more. And he goes and goes and goes until he can't. And then, you lose. The best people, they lose. Tiger Woods lost in his prime. Conor McGregor lost, and he had some injuries, and he had time to rethink, to rebalance, and to redo this. And I think he's going to win. I think a guy that, doesn't like when his friend or teammate, gets punished, just like that one time in the UFC match, he was sitting on the side and got into a little bit of fight with the other people. But I think he cares about the UFC, and I think it's great that he can get back into it, and that they allowed him to fight, and show, like, he's going to show up. It's not going to be like a Logan Paul match or Jake Paul or whatever. None of that one. It's not going to be, Netflix and all that, and actually might be, I don't know what's being played. I'm probably going, I don't know if I'm going to watch it or not. It's going to be good, though, if watching it or not. And it shows you can come back from things, and don't know a ton about, what he's been through. Definitely watched and heard some things, but you never know. You can't trust online. And with all this AI stuff, especially with, LeBron going to this team, LeBron going to that team, he hasn't made the decision yet. So don't trust no online thing. Can't even trust me out here. But I'm not AI. AI wouldn't have a good shirt like this and a great bear like that. So I think the UFC, they need him back. I think they're going downhill. In my own opinion. I think the White House thing was cool to watch, but I mean it wasn't. I mean it didn't have the same as being an arena full with a tons of people, but it had some kind of one and done thing. But one and done, it's good for experience. But you're not going to live there. You're not going to live in the back of the White House doing the UFC matches. But let's switch gears a little bit and hit home with the All Stars, because I've talked about this before. But it's crazy. The whole all the All Stars, and yeah, is it a big deal to be out of the All Stars? Is it? Do you lose something if you're not in the All Stars? I don't think so. And I was listening another thing, calling from the herd. He said awards don't mean anything. Awards don't mean anything if you can't produce. If you can't do anything about it. You look at it and you see, yeah, I got all this award, I got an Emmy, but you can be okay. And there's people who don't even have awards that are much better than you. There's always someone better than you. I forgot who said that, but I don't know who said it. There's always someone better than you. But I think when you're looking at it, awards and All Stars don't mean anything if you can't do the same thing on the field. I think Paul Skeens a great pitcher, but he hasn't had a great year. If I think he's an All Star and he's gotten all these awards and all this shout outs, but he hasn't had a great year. But Chris Sale, he hasn't had past few years. He's been okay. He's been great. He's getting awards, but he's won a little bit low key. He's not flashy. He doesn't do all these things that you see these younger big name guys. And I mean, I think sometimes you look and you say, oh look, they have this $2,000 suit or a Rolex on their watch, so that means they have to be someone big. It doesn't mean that at all. It doesn't mean that it's actually real. But I think the All Stars is, yeah, it's fun to watch, and yeah, most of these guys deserve it. But it's first of all, the thing is, the MLB regular season, it's I don't like it. Like the Braves not doing so hot, but they're getting some wins past few days. But you can have an off time, an All-Star break. I feel like don't help it. You don't make the All-Stars, you go on vacation with your family. You take time off the gym for a week or so. And then now you have this bad habit where some teams, they fly after the All-Star break. But teams like the Braves in the past, have not done well. A lot of teams need the All-Star break and need to push off of it. And you're going to see some of those teams, they're going to start to drop. They need momentum at the beginning of the All-Star break and push that into, the second half of the season for the MLB. Trying to get to October, you're gonna need these next two and a half months in the baseball season to really help and to really push off of the momentum. And I think when it comes down to it, I think the MLB, the format where they have All Stars right in the middle of it, not the end like the NFL, but in the middle of it, it gives you a break, but it also shows you who's that team that's gonna beat it out. Who's that team that's going to get hot at the end? And I like to say this a lot. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, right? So I might not be a coach, I might not be a motivational speaker, but I know when I'm watching sports and I can see, oh yeah, they're having a good season at the end, they're gonna have a good playoff run. You see LA do this a lot with Shohei and all their guys. They can have chippy starts. They didn't start too well, but they're rolling now. And I think they're a great second half team. They're a great fourth quarter team, as I like to say. Those are the teams that finish. But it comes down to the grit, like I'm saying, and the US team didn't have that. Bringing back to that, but it's not all about that sometimes. And yeah, but talk about more sports and the World Cup. We're into the quarterfinals and one game yesterday. It was a good game. I think France, they were a better team against Morocco. But, I think a lot of people saying France, I don't like to say this. England's looking good. I think Argentina. I like Argentina. This might, I'm thinking right now, who's the best team out there? I think Argentina, France final, and I think Argentina's going to get the back-to-back win. Back-to-back win, and I think it's because of Messi and a lot of players. I realize a lot of players aren't going to be for 2030. So remember these days, and a lot of young players. Spain, get a good young player, but overall, it's a great time for sports. It's a great time to be alive. Be ready, never know when your last day is. I'm Eli Tanner. This is the Eli Show. Thanks for watching. Adios, amigos.